Hello everyone, welcome to our future session. Today with the exciting topic, trend or snapshot, more color in the room. My name is Elis-abeth Kätzl and I'm designer at HAPTICS. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will talk about solid colors and materials that we see for interior. We will also have a look at how the crisis influences our preferences and colors for materials. To our presentation structure. First, I would shortly talk about the impact of colors. Then I would talk about the color tendencies we see in primary colors for plain surfaces and accessories. Then we will talk about the impact of natural materials with authentic haptics. And then I will give an overview on wood types and their shades and nuances. The same for stone and concrete surfaces and metal and textile surfaces. And our last point, I will show you combinations from unicolors and materials, from brown, green, red, yellow, and blue. Let's start with the influence of colors. One thing is clear to us, colors influences our minds. Consciously or unconsciously, we take advantage of it. It can be said that our center of life has shifted to our homes due to the crisis last year and has become a pivot and angling point of life for many of us. That's why it's not surprising in these uncertain times that we want to create an environment at home in which we feel comfortable. We are making new demands on our homes. For many of us, the mobile office or homeschooling has become part of our everyday life, without our homes being equipped for it before. We want to feel safe and secure in different parts of the day and that parts that we spend at home. Or we want to also structure the parts of the day in a special way. We consciously or unconsciously integrate colors into our rooms. And we can say that we already had existing color tendencies which were visible before the crisis that have been strengthened by the last year. We will show you where and how these show up in the course of our presentation. If we look at the color tendencies, starting from the primary colors, we see that we have developed a preference for jewel and spot colors, whose nuances originate from the primary colors. They have gemstone character, something decorative. They are clear, strong colored nuances that, when tinted, always bring something earthy or stony with them. When you use them, we set accents on plain surfaces or accessories. If we look at the colors in the chromatic circle, we quickly notice that yellow range has been added and the color nuances in the red range have developed from a pastel pink to a red-orange COTTO tone. We see the same in the blue, green, and brown areas. Overall, the nuances becoming more earthy, more natural, more decorative. Here we can already see the trend towards more naturalness in a growing way and represented by warm nuances. Black, white, and gray are still represented, but more nuanced tones with a strong trend towards neutral, earthy, and brown nuances. When we talk about the influence of color, haptic is also a decisive way that is important for surfaces we want to be surrounded by. If we consider the calming effect of haptic things, it is only too logical why we surround ourselves more and more with certain materials and colors. Haptics that perceive a pleasant contribution to relaxation, which means we develop preferences for material looks. There is a tendency towards Neutral, rough-looking surfaces. You can see here in our highlight decor Flagstaff oak, with cracked of aged wood, for example, where some of them are filled with tin. This combines to a rough, warm surface impression of the wood with a metallic, silvery, and cooling color impression of tin-filled cracks. With this look, we visually convey the feeling of haptic in this lively decor, which creates a surface that has a calming effect on us. In addition, the trend towards a novel rusticity and natural nuances can also be seen here. If we look at the nuances of the wood optics, we can see that preferences for natural materials, colors, and haptics in the room exists. A trend that was already announced before the crisis, along with the trend towards a more mindful lifestyle for our planet, but also ourselves. The preference for this material impression is in its color range grew by suggesting us naturalness and sustainability, and has a positive connotation for us as well. Decors with a great naturalness that remind us of our roots are gaining in importance. We see decors with large flowers, soft pores, generous colors, color gradients, and knot holes, but also braids and weaves, such as our rattan decor, Calamos, or the Viennese braid Amadeus. They bring naturalness and charm into our homes through their handcrafted character. They are also supported by the current mid-century style. The decors can be wonderfully combined in doors, back panels, or cabinet interior elements. A style that follows past design epochs and brings furniture with stories into our room. The naturalness radiates peace and security that we would like to transport in our home. A trend that has been observed for some time, but it clearly increased due to the crisis. Not only unicolors have an impact on our mood, these natural looks as well. We can recognize a color palette as shown here, with very light yellow to white wood nuances, which then go through a mid-tone yellow-brown sand-colored palette to a strong dark brown-gray coloring. In all nuances is the focus on naturalness. All decors and colors will be combinable well, as we can see later. Stone and concrete surfaces are also popular, as we see here with the focus on naturalness, both in the all-over pattern of the decor and the color scheme. A color palette ranging from light white beige tones to gray-blue nuances and deeper, richer color gradations, all the way back to black. Here as well, decors combinable well. We also can see a trend towards textile and metal decors. The textile decors support the homely character and their warm, homely, natural look. The irregularity is reminiscent of handmade. They are pretty ideal as cabinet interior elements, from bedroom wardrobes to kitchen drawers. The weave and braided decors, Calamos and Amadeus, also bring handmade natural into the living room and form a link between wood and textile decors. Now we will come to our last part, the combination of unicolors with materials. Brown is a color that we not only see in wood types, but also as plain and accessory colors in warm natural nuances. With its grounding character, it exudes coziness and power of primordial. We reflect on the composition of the earth and their sediments. We prefer nuances that are refined, noble, and natural at the same time. They can have a man-made character, as cognac tones show. We see them in upholstery, from sandy to warm shades, in wood and wall paints to hint to dried flowers, for example. Here we have combined a Arona oak floor and moon as a concrete decor. Further combination suggestions would be the grey Caspio decor and our garden oak decor. In the green shades, we have warm, rich, and noble nuances that are reminiscent of precious stones such as agate, jade, or malachite. They are used as jewelry colors. They stand for naturalness, growth, and vitality, and remind us of nature. An extended walk in the forest with mothy soil and coniferous trees, for example. But they also reflect our growing closeness to nature and convey calm and balance. In the case of green, we see rich, deep nuances that are often used as decorative elements, such as in upholstery furniture or wall paint. They combine well with dark and light woods or sandy, powdery tones, as we can see here on the left. Or as you can see here in the kitchen, where we represented the green color in form of tiles in the back, and then combined with our magnolia furniture decor in the light natural color scheme. Our loftwood and uptown decors are combined perfectly with this. Also, with the red nuances, it becomes apparent that we long for warm colors, whether in dark red nuances that remind of ruby, garnet, or jasper, up to light, earthy pink and COTTO tones. They bring warmth, security, and elegance into the room, both during the day and in the evening. We find them in wall colors, leather covers, accessories like candles, cushions, but also upholstery furniture. In this discreetly colored living situation, which is cozy, you can also see how colors a combination of COTTO, like here in the living room table, or powdery COTTO, powdery rosé of the sofa, and the blue color of our stone decor pure work. The tendency towards toned, more natural white nuances in the wall color, the curtain and the plate on the sofa can also be seen here. The new rich warm yellow accents, which reminds us of a sapphire or sunlight, bring warmth and the necessary cheerfulness into our home. The yellow accessories bring liveliness into our living space. As you can see here, cushions, food in wall colors, lighting conditions, objects like pots, kettles or lamps, just like plates, or also upholstery furniture. Here we have staged the yellow armchair in a noble, restrained rustic ambience. The natural wood tones of the two decors and the rustic grain of Canyon big leaf maple, shown here in the floor, are modern lightness with, how can you say, they bring the modern lightness in the room with the clear design language of the furniture. You can see that the yellow here also expresses the joy of life. Yellow is also one of two Pantone colors of the year 2021. Pantone combines their illuminating yellow with their ultimate gray for 2021. Now we have arrived at our last color combination. Blue has been with us in interior for quite a while. Last year, Pantone chose classic blue for the color of the year of 2020. Blue brings us serenity and confidence through the expanse of it conveys. Blue has a balancing effect as well. It brings clarity and convey depth, and at the same time, you can say it's calming. It is therefore a good support, especially in living spaces where you want to work or where you have where many things take place at the same time, such as in a family kitchen. It is reminiscent of the depth and the sea or sky by day or by night, because the nuances here are also more toned and represented in the color directions. We see blue in different shades in the furniture, kitchen fronts, in wall colors and in zoning elements, as well as in velvet posters, accessories and cushions. Or as you will see in the last picture, in a big room, for example, in shared office, where you can also see how color is working for zoning. With the pink sofa on the right and in the back. Again, blue can be combined wonderfully. Here we have combined it as kitchen fronts with the Imperial Pier wood decor. This shows off the natural color play of the decor to its best advantage. We underline the natural elegance of the noble rustic floor Kenyan Kirkwall oak with the black elements, such as the stools, the lamp, or the fittings, which in turn creates a clarity and modern generosity. The combination of COTTO tone, you can see also how can I say, you can see the combination of COTTO tones with the blue here, and you see how it works in the room and what kind of effect combinations have in the room. That brings us to the end of today's future session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, and I hope you will have a look on the next future sessions. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us.